Before I start this video off, I wanted to say a huge thank you to all those World War II veterans that served on June 6, 1944 for our freedoms and for our world. I just wanted to say that our debts will never be repaid to you, and we are forever grateful for your service. But this got me thinking when I was actually considering making this video on the importance of realism within Call of Duty games. Call of Duty World War II was the last game where we had any type of photorealism when it comes to the brutality and the grittiness of war, and the importance of that cannot be underdefined or underwhelmed here. War is a terrible thing, and war is a bloody thing, but for the journalists to only just now say that making a war game is bad and that the next Call of Duty will be too realistic, let me tell you something. When people play Call of Duty, there are a lot of people who actually decide to go into the real military after playing the game thinking that it's going to be the same thing. But when they come out, they realize it's a very different world. When I was in high school, I was in the ROTC program, and it took me a while to understand that Call of Duty wasn't real. And this is talking from age 15 and up. But when I got to the age of 17, my CO at the time actually told me that war is nothing like a video game, and as stupid as I was back then, my vision or the way that I see war now is very, very different because of the stories that he's told, and once again, thank him for his service. But journalists don't seem to understand that if this game is realistic, first of all, it will keep children from playing the game. It will show adults a little bit more, or at least civilians, that war is not something to be joked around about. It's not something to glorify. It's actually a very terrible thing. And while Call of Duty games are fun, they are nowhere near the amount of stress and terrible atrocities that happen within war. And I just get so very, very upset when it comes to things like this, because journalists themselves are safe. Journalists don't have to go through this kind of shit. Most of the journalists have never probably even played a Call of Duty game or have ever actually seen one in recent years. But even with Infinite Warfare's campaign, though it was unrealistic, it had a dark undertone to it if you actually play through the campaign. And if you play through World War II's campaign, you definitely know that this game was just as bloody, just as violent, just as crazy as the movie Saving Private Ryan or American Sniper. It was just a fucking dark, gritty game, but Call of Duty World War II still continues to do well, and that is the reason that realism is so important in games, because people still play World War II for that feeling of actual war. Even though it is not actual war, kids can pretend that they're a soldier on the front lines and things like that. But this year, they're deciding to take it towards a more modern type of approach to the realistic wars that we go on in today's age, like the things that happen in the real world today. But I find the hypocrisy just so funny, because if you actually look at World War II, it's taught in schools, you have to watch videos on it in high school, and you can study it more extensively after high school. But studying the real world's war right now is terrible. Looking at it from a soldier's perspective in the modern age is terrible, but looking at it through World War II's perspective is not. Where were these journalists when they decided to make Call of Duty World War II? There was no complaining, there was no bitching from any journalist about this game whatsoever, and I really don't like hypocrites. I don't like people who think that one thing is okay but another is not, like the double standard of people. And if you've ever actually played a video game, you know that it's an immersive experience. You want to be immersed in that world, and World War II actually provided this for everyone who actually sat there and played it. Now with Modern Warfare, though the times may be different, it's very, very important, to me at least, to have a sense of realism in my games. I don't need another Black Ops 4. I don't need another Infinite Warfare. I don't need another Advanced Warfare. I need a campaign that will make me want to play it again and again. Much like Black Ops 2's campaign or any of the Black Ops series, you can sit there and play those, like all the way up to at least Black Ops 2. You can play those campaigns over and over again and you still enjoy them. The fact is that people like realism, especially me, because of the fact that the game is realistic, because it has some sort of grounding in real-world application. And those who, like kids who enjoy the Advanced Warfare campaigns and the Infinite Warfare campaigns, those are more geared towards children. This game is rated M. It is not rated T, it is not rated E. It is supposed to be for a mature audience. And most Call of Duty players, unfortunately, are not very mature in their responses. And look at my last video, you can see exactly how maturely I responded to the whole situation with Treyarch. The importance of defining the lines of what is right and wrong in our society is absolutely paramount, even when it comes to video games. And the World War II veterans, the real ones, didn't fight for our rights to be censored or taken away, and I believe freedom of thought is very, very important in video games. It's what's created some of the most mind-blowing entertainment that we've ever seen. And I know a lot of people have made videos on this, and I know a lot of people have talked about this already, but I needed to make this video to make people understand that this game is going to come out. It's not going to go away. It's not going to be deleted. No one's going to censor it. I mean, maybe in Germany and Japan and Russia and all those countries, because they have different laws than we do. But at least here in the United States, we should be thankful for the fact that we are even allowed to say what we think. We should be thankful that we have freedom of thought, because the people who actually fight in these wars fight for those rights. And I may be a big dick gun-toot American when I say this, but I'm quite proud to be an American, and I'm quite proud to come from this country. There's nothing wrong with having pride in your country, no matter what country you're from. But, you know, this is ridiculous. Those same journalists who will say thank you for your service to veterans, but they won't allow us to see what they actually go through and have us appreciate what they go through for us, is just mind-blowing to me. And the lack of censoring for music or movies or television shows, they're fine with that, but not in a video game. Oh no, because video games cause violence. Even though there have been multiple studies that have confirmed that it does not cause violence, people still say it does. It's just mind-blowing to me. But guys, you can rest assured that this game is coming out. It will be released. It will not be censored. Or if it is, there will be a huge backlash. Or there will be an option to turn off certain scenes and things like that. I don't think Infinity Ward went and made this game without thinking about, you know, the toggle off these certain scenes switch when they thought about creating the grittiness of war. And considering that children might be seeing this, they probably did the same thing as they did with No Russian when you have the option to actually turn off that mission. You don't have to play through that mission. And if you are going to buy this game, you need to understand that this game is not for children, and if you're the one who buys it for your child, you are the one to blame. This comes down to the parents. But I am very, very excited for this. I'm very excited for the campaign and the multiplayer, because I feel like this will be another Call of Duty that I can play 5 years down the road, and it will just be amazing to me. But guys, what do you think about this? Do you think that this game needs to be censored? Do you think this game doesn't need to be made? Or do you think the journalists are, you know, frankly just being stupid? And that may sound incredibly influential. I might be influencing your opinions by saying that, but I think that I'm right, and you're free to debate me down in the comment section below. Anyway, once again, thank you to all of our veterans who serve us on a daily basis for our freedoms. Your sacrifice does not go unnoticed, especially by me and anyone who subscribes to this channel. Please don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel for more Call of Duty news, information, and opinions every day. This is Hades Gaming, signing off. Have a good one.